It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step. Hey guys, look, we are back. We are back in the building. A lot has gone on. It was my birthday. I had a great time. The birthday week was amazing. For my birthday, I was on some birthday, got a new age, new me type stuff. And so, I was hitting the gym or whatever, and I went to the gym and I started being egotistical and I started lifting with my friends, and they big and strong and I'm big and strong, and we start throwing up a lot of weight. I'm talking about 450, 500 type of weight on that bench press. And it was all good because I was right in there, getting it in. We do 2 reps, not one. And I ended up getting rhabdo. If you don't know what rhabdo is I think it's called rhabdomyolysis or whatever, but it's where your muscles tear down when you do like strenuous exercise. You lifting that heavy weight. I was in there lifting that. Your boyfriend, your daddy, your uncle, they strong, but we on a whole nother level from them. So we throwing up 500 pounds, and I hadn't done that in a long time. But me being me, I'm right in there doing my thing, and it tears down the muscles if they haven't been conditioned and gradually work back up to that to handle that load. So the protein called creatinine kinase, it's basically the particles from your muscles as they tear. So a bunch of that got released into my body, went into my bloodstream, went into my kidneys, and basically it caused me to get like the same symptoms as like dehydration. I just wasn't feeling good. My joints were very achy. So I went to the doctor and they checked me. They said, bro, your kidneys look beautiful. Your organs look beautiful. They said, you just have a buildup of creatinine. We're going to put you on an IV flush. So I was at the ER for about, I was at the ER for about 2 hours. 2 hours, yeah. I skipped a bunch of people because I have good insurance. I was at the ER for about 2 hours. They hit me up with some IV fluid, sent me home. They said, keep drinking, absolute rest for the next 3 to 5 days. Do not do nothing at all. Obviously, I'm just on day 3 or something, but I'm here. Hold on really quick. Sorry, guys. Soon as you go live, that's when everybody wants to try to call you. But anyway, so I was at the doctor's office at the ER for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Got some IV fluids. Got put on bed rest. Hey, hydrate, whatever. So I'm good. I'm gonna actually go today and get another blood draw done just to make sure everything's coming down. But just so you guys don't worry, it was already coming down when I left. They rechecked the blood. They said you dropped a lot. They said you're already going trending down. You're good. They said gradually work into your workouts. Don't be in there throwing up, 400 and 500 pounds on your first workout back. So it's all good. Follow doctor's order. Beyond that, I'm very healthy. Beyond that, I'm fat as hell, but I'm healthy. Nothing's going wrong with me, which I was happy to know that. Nothing's going on with me. But anyway, so let's get into the situation. We got to talk about this Nolan Wells situation. And we really have to approach it from the perspective that where things are taking place with Brandon Tatum. Because right now, Brandon Tatum is probably the foremost investigator when it comes to YouTube or social media. Because MSM, we like to do our own investigations. And so the guy who's out in front of that investigation by a lot is Brandon Tatum. There were certain people who came when it was Carmelo Anthony, they jumped on top of it. They were out there at the courthouse, all that stuff. Well, for this Nolan Wells situation, Brandon Tatum, I think, is ahead of the curve. He went to the actual island. He talked to the people. He lied his ass off about that lie detector test, too. Now, he did lie about that lie detector test. But as far as I'm concerned, Brandon Tatum is the guy who's actually investing and finding out the truth about this situation. Now, we know that our people, and this is not a racially biased platform, but I'm going to speak to black people right now because black people are the people who I feel are showing the greatest hypocrisy right now when it comes to the Nolan Wells situation. I want to get this out off rip. Stop getting mad at people. Black America, black, whatever you want to call yourself, Native, Navajo, whatever you think you are right now, Anunnaki from the planet Uranus, whatever you think you are right now. If you are darker than a brown paper bag, this color, 2 shades up and 10 shades down. Listen, stop getting mad at people for doing exactly what you're doing. I'm going to say this again. Stop getting mad at people for doing exactly what you're doing. Everyone on the internet is speculating. No one knows what happened. But based on the autopsies, which have nothing to do with Brandon Tatum, Mama went and got her own private autopsy. The county that he died in, they did their autopsy. Based on both autopsies, right? This is what we know. There was no blunt force trauma. There was no signs of a struggle, forced asphyxiation, forced drowning, any of that stuff. The autopsies have concluded that. This is what we know. So we know that no one hit this boy in the back of the head and knocked him off the boat. We know nobody shot him, stabbed him, and we know nobody held him underwater and drowned him. We know these things. So the way my mind works, I go through process of elimination because there's really only a few ways to kill somebody beyond poisoning them or something like that. You stab them, shoot them, choke them out, physically put their head under the water, drown them, hit them in the head with something. These are the ways to kill a human. The coroner, the autopsies have confirmed that none of these things have taken place. We have not gotten the toxicology report back, and that tells me that there's something that was found in his blood that the parents do not want to be publicized, right? That's what it says to me. If they don't want us to know what chemicals were inside his body, boy might have been on a little cocaine. Boy, we know he was drinking. He might have been on some pills. We don't know what bro was doing. But that's the biggest thing you need to focus on. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So when it comes to Brandon Tatum is someone who has did more than we've done. He's actually went there and talked to people. That's a leap and a bound above what we've done, right? So when it comes to what you know and what he knows, I'm not saying Brandon Tatum knows everything and is the end all be all when it comes to the case. But what I'm saying is, based on Brandon Tatum going there, he knows more than a lot of us know. He's talked to these people. He's got on the boat, went to the island, all this stuff. He's done an investigation. You guys are like, he's not an investigator. People, I see black people. He's not a detective, guys. Nick Shirley is not a detective. 99% of the people y'all see on the internet investigating things are not detectives or not even involved with law enforcement. Unlike them, right? Unlike them, Brandon Tatum was once an officer. Officers do conduct investigations. They do. You don't have to be a detective to investigate, interview, interrogate. You don't. Now, I'm not saying Brandon Tatum is 100% right about everything he said. There's no way we can know that because we don't know what happened. Yeah, Rotten Roll Flacco is milking the hell out of this, saying a bunch of nothing. And that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are keying on the fact that black people don't like Brandon Tatum because they feel like bro be cooning, and they're using that as a springboard to basically shed the information he's bringing out in a negative light. And that's okay. But don't pretend like you know something that he doesn't know, and don't pretend like you know something that the rest of us don't know. Because y'all on the internet getting mad at me, cursing at me in the damn comments over audio that has clearly been doctored by AI, talking about why did you do that? Guys, don't you think if that audio was available, Ben Crumpton would have been all over that? There are people trying to get rich off of this who are looking for anything they can use to prove that Nolan Wells' death was racially motivated murder. Don't you think they would be all over that if there was any type of validity to it? But see, what we do is if we don't like what the person is saying, it doesn't matter if it's true or false. We just say that's false. But that's why, as long as Black America keeps doing that, we will continue to be powerless against people like Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum is kicking Black America's ass right now on social media and in general. Why? Not because he's so much smarter than everybody. He's kicking your ass because you cling on to things that you know are not true. Because you don't care if it's true or not, as long as you believe it will sway the public opinion toward in your favor. That's not the way this works. That's not the way this works. You can't say, oh, I know that Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf, but because I really want Austin Metcalf to be a racist, I'm going to pretend like Austin Metcalf fell on top of Carmelo Anthony's knife and Carmelo Anthony didn't really stab him. That doesn't do anything to help you. All that does is make it look like you don't know how to be accountable and like you're willing to be dishonest if you feel like it will work in your benefit. It's like you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, they texting somebody, right? And you say, well, let me look at your phone. And they say, no, you can't look at my phone. What's the first thing you're going to think? You're going to think they're being dishonest. Then they come back and say, okay, you can look at my phone, and you look at the phone and everything's been deleted. You're going to look at that person like, hey, look, you're trying to hide something. And even if they're not doing anything wrong, you're always going to think that they have the capacity to lie if they think it will benefit them. And that's the way Black America is coming off. We're coming off as a bunch of grifters online. That's what's going on. We are, and I don't think Black America is this way as a whole, but we are coming off like we are the most untrustworthy group of people. We are coming off like we are the most untrustworthy group of people on the planet. Don't trust them. They will lie if they think it will benefit them. They will cover something up if they think it will benefit them. And me, I'm not that type of person. Brandon Tatum did lie. He lied about the lie detector. He said that some people took lie detector tests and they never took them. But you know what Brandon Tatum did that many Black Americans have trouble doing? He admitted on Nancy Mace that that was not true. You still clinging on to this lie. I mean, how many lies is Black America still holding on to? Black people still out here talking about Austin Metcalf was a racist and Carmelo Anthony was only 120 pounds and 5'1". It's like we looking at this boy 6 feet, 165, 170 pounds. We looking at it. We're looking at this boy's statistics, his stats. We still clinging on to, oh yeah, his dad knew the judge. You know these things are not true. We're still clinging on to, yeah, the Klan was at the courthouse. You know these things aren't true. But we'll still cling to it, and all it does is destroy your credibility. That's it. All it does is destroy your credibility. The AI on the audio it showed that they killed him. You know it's AI. You on the internet more than anybody. I'm on the internet, just like y'all on the internet, and I could listen to something and be like, that's clearly AI. But if you will pretend like if you will fake ignorance or pretend like something that you know is a lie is the truth, you're not helping your position. And that's why you cannot stop Brandon Tatum. That's why you can't stop people like Matt Walsh. That's why you can't stop people like Nick Fuentes who are openly racist against you. Because it doesn't matter how racist you say someone is. If you can't tell the truth, if you can't be deemed trustworthy in the eyes of the public, you will just be looked at like a liar. There are racists who are honest about how racist they are. I don't like black people. Someone will trust an honest racist more than they will trust a lying ass black person who sits up and tries to manipulate you by sitting up and trying to sell you falsehoods that even they know are not true. There's many lies going on in our community that just continue to perpetuate, right? And we just keep clinging on to them like a rock. We're in an ocean holding on to a rock, and the rock is taking us down. But someone told us there's gold inside of the rock, so we don't want to let the rock go. But I can call Brandon Tatum out for his lies because I don't agree with everything Brandon Tatum says or does. You know, we've actually got into it a little bit on in one of his live streams, going back and forth. So I'm not like I love Brandon Tatum, but when I say Brandon Tatum went to do the interview, them boys didn't look nervous or none of that when they was sitting with Brandon Tatum. They took him out there. One of the boy family members, a judge. If the judge felt like there's any wrongdoing on that boy part, the first thing they're gonna say, right? The first thing a judge is going to advise their kid, son, whatever, hey, don't go talk to this person, right? Don't go out to the island. Don't let that dude go out there. Don't let him record you. That is what any legal counsel is going to say if there's any chance that you did anything wrong. But the fact that they were allowed to sit with Tatum and be interviewed, that doesn't tell me Tatum is a shield for white supremacy. What that tells me is these boys feel like they are beyond innocent. Their family members feel like they're beyond innocent. This dude Tatum looked in the girl, saw the girl message, which showed that she told the boy to get on the boat, but he chose to stay off the boat. You didn't kill somebody and you like, yeah, let me call a tow truck, a towboat for me. It just doesn't add up to me. But why black people think like this is not because they're coming to this under their own volition. Black people aren't just arriving at these conclusions just because. There are gatekeeping, degenerate, lying, black, quote unquote, leaders, usually who come from the entertainment industry, people who are professionals at acting like they're something they are not, who have a chokehold on black consciousness, on black awareness. One of these people is D.L. Hughley. And D.L. Hughley is making a name for himself in the fact, because he is willing to do something that even Benjamin Crump and these other dudes are not willing to do. Because Benjamin Crump was surprisingly honest when he was reading that autopsy. Now he tried to gaslight a little bit, and he tried to, allude to some certain things, but overwhelmingly he was honest. He made it clear this stuff is normal. When black folks was acting shocked and clutching their pearls, he was like, no, this is normal. This is something that always happens. So what D.L. Hughley saw was a space where he could come in with blatant lies and speak to the audience of black people who are willing to believe anything to turn something into a race issue. I don't like black people like that. I don't like white people like that. You don't like people like that. I know some things are motivated by race. And even I came out with my first video that was like, yo, this might be racially motivated. So don't come at me talking about Brandon, you cooning. Because my first video was like, there's a lot of stuff that seems sketchy about this situation. But as the evidence started coming out, primarily for me, the autopsy, the private autopsy, the independent autopsy done by Nolan Wells' mama and daddy, that's what made me say, oh yeah, this wasn't nothing. This wasn't no murder. I didn't go by what the white man said in Mississippi. I didn't go by what the kid said. I went based off of what the independent autopsy said as read by Ben Crump. So when your own autopsy is now speaking against what you're claiming it was, and when we find out that the parents are just kind of bringing these people in so that they can secure an insurance claim, not even trying to say it was murder, I can't keep going with the narrative, oh, this was a racially motivated killing, because it wasn't. or at least it's seeming like it wasn't. We don't know for a fact yet, but it's not looking like these boys done killed this boy over no girl and all this other stuff that y'all was saying. It ain't looking like that. And just because you want it to be true, that doesn't mean it is. A lot of us walk around with a childlike mindset, acting like teenage girls. We know something is a lie, but we gonna keep spreading it because we feel like it works in our favor. That's not like, what group of people do that? That way of thinking and that type of behavior, it will destroy you long before it has any type of negative impact on your quote unquote enemies. Look, this is Define Brandon. I'm Brandon Tucker. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to accountability. Let's get back right into this.
All the drama I just mentioned with his inner family ain't not one of the suspects in that situation white. A white man didn't cheat on your wife. A white man didn't abuse your daughter. A white boy, I'd say. And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child whom you had out of wedlock while you were married. These are all black people doing this. And yet you cry about white people every day of the week. Listen to what this fool said about me, and I'm gonna critique it as we go.
Now, what Brandon Tatum is talking about, he's talking about some things that D.L. Hughley has admitted and revealed online before he became a grifter, about all these things a bunch of black people had did to him, right? I mean, D.L. Hughley, he had animosity behind his own mama, to where when she died, bro, was like, I didn't even care. The dude admitted that his daughter was molested by someone who was very powerful in Hollywood. And he got the information, and he chose not to disclose the information to law enforcement and protect his daughter because he felt it would hurt his career. Just think about that. D.L. Hughley had a baby outside of his marriage with another woman behind his wife's back, and the baby ended up dying. So what Brandon Tatum is doing, is he's really trying to show black folks, but black folks don't watch this guy like that. So the message will always be missed. What he's doing is he's trying to show you, look, black people, these are the type of people who you are allowing to lead your consciousness. These are the type of people who you're allowing to basically tell you how you should react to certain things that occur. And what he's ultimately saying is they're not qualified or trustworthy enough to be given that type of power over your consciousness. This man's daughter was molested. Okay? First of all, you touch my daughter, I'm going to be trying to kill your ass. Bro wasn't even man enough to go to the police. Why? Selfish. I didn't want it to impact my career. So if this man will let his daughter get molested and not say anything because he wants to protect his career, do you think he would for a minute hesitate to lie straight to your face in an effort to make money and further his career? Here we go. Rodney, no different from Trump. For these ignorant, and look at the guy. He's a old black dude. It got to go back to Trump. Trump ain't got nothing to do with this situation, but that's what we use. That's called cope. What Rodney right here on the bottom is doing is called elderly black cope. This is when your grandma hide the fact that your uncle is molesting the kids at the family reunion, and she uses, I'm afraid they might string them up. And she's like, I don't want the Klan to come get him. Yeah, but he's a molester. This is what Rodney's doing because that's the way his mother and father raised him. When Rodney's dad touched him, he says, son, don't tell nobody because, if I go to jail, right? If I go to jail, then who gonna pay the bills? Who gonna take care of the house? What you have to understand, if you are black, you have to understand that a lot of our people are willing to accept anything if they feel it will benefit them personally. That black woman will sit up and talk all day bad about the white man, white man, white man. Soon as a white man with some money come looking, sniffing around, hey, I'm looking at you, I want to marry you, she right there in the bed with him. That black man, oh, I don't like the white man, my boss is racist, da-da-da-da. Soon as that white girl comes sniffing around, he laid up with her. Because black people have a certain set of rules for us as a community, but those rules don't apply for us as individuals. We will accept all the racism in the world if we think we're going to make some money off of it. I'm telling you, this is real. Look at this. Rodney, you way too old to be acting like Brandon Lyon. Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm just telling y'all the facts. I'm not, and that is why, like I said, you will continue to be conquered, not only by other groups, but by your own who go in, who invest themselves with other groups. You will continue to be conquered because you refuse to be honest. The Bible say that the truth will set you free. So you want to know why you still in mental slavery 200 years after slavery, 100 years after slavery ended? 200, almost 200, because you're still clinging on to lies. They might not be the same lies, but you're still clinging on to lies. And the minute you let those lies go, you're going to be better. You're going to be better off. Let's keep going.
Roll it.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore.
Pause.
You are a football.
It's called a moniker. People consider me as Officer Tatum because I became famous as Officer Tatum. And D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name. You still going by your stage name, Negro. You ain't even a comedian no more, passing out on stage and stuff. You ain't even funny no more. But you going by D.L. Hughley. So people want to consider to call me the Officer Tatum or Officer Tatum. I'm fine with that. It's called a brand.
He will always be an officer. He will always be a part of the brotherhood, the fraternal order of police. So he'll always be an officer. It's like someone who's president. Well, they're no longer president, but they'll always be called Mr. President for the rest of their life. It stays with you, right? Now, Tatum could have explained that a little better, but I mean, he was just a regular beat cop. He wasn't like a gumshoe, right? I just want to show y'all something. And guys, let me tell you, okay, I'm going to give you a quick example because we're going to get right back into this. But I want to give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. So this guy, I said the Bible says that you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. That's what the Bible says, right? This guy Rodney says, no, it says make you free. Now I'm a Bible scholar. I know about that book, right? What that say? The truth will make you free? No, it says truth will set you free. Then you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Rodney is lying again. This tells you that Rodney, even in his big old age, is an ignorant moron. And his children are morons and his parents are morons. And the moronic thinking and behavior is a generational curse that has been placed upon his family that he's not man enough to break. Don't argue with me, Rodney. You're going to look bad every time. That's why you're watching me and I'm not watching you. Stop it. And if you want to be like Rodney, keep acting ignorant and you'll be ignorant when you old. And when them Mexicans and Filipinos beating on your ass up in that old folks home, your ignorance, you going to get your just due for choosing to be ignorant. Because you won't even have nobody who will come over to your house and cut up a damn waffle for you. Now I got to get a life because he lying. You exposed me. Get a life. These are the same type of people who are in denial about this situation.
Roll the clip.
A player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about it.
He said, I didn't make the team, or I didn't make it to the NFL. Okay. I don't think that's anything somebody can be sad about. And I'm also glad I don't have CTE either. So it's not all bad. And D.L. Hughley, somebody told me you were 5'6" or something. You would never make it you won't even make it to college. You were in high school. Little beta male.
D.L. Hughley couldn't even make it in a movie. If you look at comedians, they have a certain trajectory. D.L. Hughley couldn't even make it to the point where he was even a B-list or C-list actor. Every time D.L. Hughley got in front of a camera, it was because another comedian dragged him into it. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Kings of Comedy, and any other movies. My Wife and Kids, which one? He had the Hughleys, right? Which was a spinoff, which was kind of like the show My Wife and Kids. He was so terrible, right? Damon Wayans was able to come with the same concept where D.L. Hughley could only be put on UPN Channel 13. Damon Wayans came with the same exact concept and was able to get on ABC, was able to get on the big networks. And that show ran for many seasons. So D.L. Hughley is not the one who should be comparing stats with anybody. Kevin Hart has done many movies. Kevin Hart got a movie that just came out on Netflix. And let me tell you the coldest part. Hold on real quick. Let me see this. Kevin Hart is 47 years old. D.L. Hughley is 63. So D.L. Hughley is in his class of comedians. He's in the class with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, I think about 67. Eddie Murphy, 65. Look at Eddie Murphy's career and look at D.L. Bum Hughley's career. Please stop talking about anybody's accomplishments or lack thereof, D.L. You are not qualified, right? You are not qualified. Just shut up and stick to the facts. But he has no facts. So, he can't do anything about it.
Talking about it. Then I became a cop. What did I do as a cop? I protected black people with my life. D.L. Hughley is telling jokes. You better sit your butt down. Let him finish.
Emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion.
Time out.
You cried for a white dude. Guys, do you know that the majority of the money that D.L. Hughley has made in his lifetime has come directly from white people? Do you know that the majority of money D.L. Hughley has made in his lifetime has come directly from white people? Just think about that. Do you really believe that this man is going to take your side against white folks? Do you think when the rubber meets the road, do you really think D.L. Hughley going to be like, nah, I got to stay down with the blacks? He's not. He's going to go to whatever side butters his biscuit. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. Because the reality is this whole Nolan Wells story, people are trying to project this like white versus black. This is not white versus black. This is Democrat versus Republican. This is radical liberalism versus conservatism. Why? Because the only reason Nolan Wells was force-fed to you on social media and regular mainstream media was because they need their next George Floyd. That's it. They need their George Floyd because these people know the only way they're going to win any elections is on the back of a black corpse. That's the only way. And I told you about George Floyd, And I told you that, and when it first happened, I told y'all, I said, the only person who gonna benefit from George Floyd's death is old white men and white liberal women. Who benefited from it? What did you get? Nothing. If you're black, what did you get? Nothing. Nothing at all. You got nothing. You didn't even get the anti-black hate bill. You didn't even get defund the police, really. But you know what? You know who did get something? Joe Biden. A guy who was so much of a loser, he could never win the presidency because he was just too dishonest. He got the presidency, a corpse, as a corpse. He stepped all on George Floyd neck and head and back to get to the presidency. You know who else benefited? Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, that guy made millions, and got immunity from whatever they found in that laptop off of the back of George Floyd. BLM came through. The black lesbians got a $90 million payday. They didn't build a single thing in a single black community. Let's be real. So if the Democrat Party got the presidency, black liberal women, lesbians got rich, white women, lesbians, and straight liberal women, they got rich. Democrat politicians, people like Jasmine Crockett, transcended. Don't y'all understand they trying to run the same play? Because they believe it will yield the same results. The only problem is they're losing ground because everything is being revealed. What's done in the dark is coming to the light. The Austin Metcalf situation. Liberals are losing ground because when people feel unsafe, they don't give a damn about letting illegal immigrants and stuff into the country. They don't give a damn about the environment and compassion and all this shit. They're like, I don't want a black kid stabbing my kid at school. So they lose. So they lose ground. Now they're doing anything they can, and who these same people were the ones selling you George Floyd. Even D.L. Hughley was even out here selling you COVID. If you remember COVID-19. D.L. Hughley was one of the people out here telling you, yeah, you need to mask up, and I want 10 feet, and I'm triple vaccinated. Y'all don't remember that, though, huh? Him and who was the, and Roland Martin. Now everything we had said about COVID is now being revealed to be true. Anthony Fauci sitting his ass up in court and won't even speak on the quote-unquote science that he told you to follow. If it's scientific, just set it up and break it down scientifically. If we talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson and explain to us how do you know that the Earth rotates on its axis, that dude gonna get goosebumps. That dude toes gonna start curling because he gets the opportunity to show you why he's smarter than you. Anthony Fauci had that opportunity. He pleaded the fifth. Do you hear any of these same black people who was telling you, yeah, go get triple vax? Do you hear any of them coming out like, bro, I was wrong. I said a bunch of stuff and I thought I knew and I was believing what they told me. No, because they don't respect you at all. If you die, they just like, whatever.
Lies. First and foremost, I did cry when Charlie died. And I could have cut the feed off and so nobody could ever see me cry. But
talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof.
Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talk that
Benjamin
Crump talks.
Horrible. At least Charlie was a man of God. At least Charlie was blameless. Charlie didn't cheat on his wife like you cheating on your wife.
Man, D.L. Hughley could never say anything. This guy let somebody molest his daughter and was too afraid to say something about it because he didn't want to hurt his career. Do you know how much of a piece of shit you have to be to know someone molested your kid and not say anything about it because you don't want it to hurt your horrible failing career?
Okay, let him finish.
Talked the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there, but I know one conversation.
So he admits, like I said in the beginning, no one knows if these boys did anything or not. So without knowing if these boys did anything or not, how have black folks jumped over the moon to determine that this was a racially motivated killing? You don't even know if he got killed. You don't know if someone even murdered him. But you've already determined in your mind that this was a racially motivated killing. And that's why no one listens to black people anymore. People are tired of that. They're sick of constantly being blamed for things they didn't do. They're sick of being attacked online because you want a free payday. They're tired of it. You've become the very racist people you said you was fighting against. The other day I was sitting up here watching Rosewood because I've been on R&R. I watch how those white folks act on the movie Rosewood, how they blamed them black folks for that white lady getting raped, and how they didn't even care that they knew that that boy's wife was cheating on him, and all them people knew who had did it, and they just acted ignorant and used that as a springboard to go killing black folks. You know what's the saddest part about that movie? I sat up there and watched that movie. I said, that's exactly how niggas act now. I said, the white trash that used to do that kind of shit back in the day, niggas have become the living reincarnation of those same degenerate white folks. And then it reveals like all the whites driving all the killing was just the broke motherfuckers who was jealous of the blacks because they were more successful. That's you. You mad because you don't want to work for what you want. You lazy, you ain't no good. Your kids ain't shit either because you raised them. And so now you have to find an out. And the out that you going to try to find is every white person is racist. Dude, my neighbors, they don't like me. I'm sure some of them, they're white. They don't like me because I'm black. It's not, they don't dislike me because I'm black. They dislike me because I'm an asshole. Duh, the same reason you don't like me. They don't like me because if they say something to me that I don't like, I'm going to say, hey, you trying to fight about it? Has nothing to do with me being black. They probably don't like me because I wake them up in the morning yelling at freaking 8 o'clock. I'm not going to pretend like that's because I'm black. That's because I'm just a jerk, and that's okay. But I know myself. You think you're this benevolent person, whole time you out here doing the devil's work. And then go online to listen to people like D.L. Hughley to make you feel better about yourself. It's a black person selling and smoking crack cocaine right now and justify doing that by saying, yeah, but slavery. Yeah, but I was raised by a single mama. Stop it. The days are over. You tricked yourself. Black people tricked themselves out of the race card by letting other people use it. And now you don't got it anymore, and you trying to use it, but the card is declining.
With a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool.
Okay, let's get to this. This fool say, I don't know the truth, but you are not a failed dude. I investigated crimes for a living. Okay. And I didn't say they were innocent or guilty. I let them talk, and the evidence that they presented put them in a position where they weren't even there when Nolan died. So what do you think they did? You think they're guilty just because they were his friends? They weren't there. They have video. They have Life 360. They got GPS coordinates. They showed us video of them leaving the island, getting towed out. Testimony from multiple people. They were not there. But you don't care about what happened to Nolan like I do. You just want the white boys to be wrong so it can feed your ego. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious.
And then Nolan Wells is, I think, half Filipino. On any other day, if Nolan Wells says something, if Nolan Wells was still alive to this day, and Nolan Wells was like, yo, I don't think there's anything wrong with interracial dating, these same black people will be calling Nolan Wells a tether and everything else. He ain't one of us. He a tether. Like remember the black and Asian guy who attacked Dave Chappelle on stage? And black folks led by Tariq Nasheed was on a campaign trying to say he wasn't really black. He wasn't FBA. Remember that? You know, we're tired of the sliding scale. We're tired of the double standards. No one can keep up with Black America's hypocrisy. Nobody. So what do people do? They divest. They say, man, my blood pressure can't take this shit. I got to go be around normal people. I gotta be around people who aren't always trying to move the goalpost on me whenever they think they could benefit from it. And that's what D.L. Hughley is doing. He's manipulating the ignorant. And if you agree with what he say, that means you're ignorant. Yet you think that your ass got something figured out. We got GPS, everything, phone records, phone logs, all that. But y'all gonna sit there, yeah, they murdered him because they raped. So they woke up one morning and was like, this dude we've been hanging out with for years. Since we was younger, we smoking bro today. I always thought it was bros before hoes. Now they smoking bro over a hoe that is still alive. And don't you think they could go to the girl, Katie or whatever her name was? Don't you think they could go to her and say, were any of these boys having a conflict over you? Were any of these boys, angry at Nolan because he was messing with you? Were you out here screwing around with one or two or more of these friends? If the girls say no, then that eliminates the whole conspiracy theory. You're going to have to stop building on sand, Black America. You're building on sand, and you're getting washed in every debate. It's not good. Shout out to Luke Perry, 10 Joules. He said W. I don't even know what 10 Joules is. I don't even know what that's worth. But thank you for the 10 Joules, my brother. And shout out to Musa Donna Sabe, 440 Joules. Unk alert. I guess this is like $5. Thank you. I just know the colors. But guys, you know how we do it in here. We definitely support the content that we want to see the most in this chat. And you guys support it, and I keep on making it. So if you want me to keep ripping people like D.L. Hughley a new one, let me know, because I could do it.
Of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave, and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right.
They found 250 people who were dead, who were buried in a grave, and nobody knew they was there. When were they buried, DL? Were they buried 300 years ago? Were they buried 150 years ago? You find a bunch of people in a grave, you throw it out there to try to trigger black people emotionally, right? But you're not giving us no context. He's doing that on purpose. Jalil Herndon. Jalil, I guess Jalil. Address why none of them are trying to address the public with facts, but rather attack Ben Crump and the Nolan family. Address why they withheld the throat tissue. Did you listen to Ben Crump's autopsy reading where he said that the throat tissue being withheld was normal? And if you really want to know, they did not withhold the throat tissue. The throat tissue was basically sent separate from the body. The throat tissue was removed. That's what Ben Crump said. The throat tissue was removed. He never said the throat tissue was withheld. You don't know what you're talking about. The problem with you, J Lil, is you have you have a lack of comprehension. You was in the slow class when you were little, and that's okay, bro. And you got older and said, I don't want to be in no slow class. So they let you go to regular class and you flunked out. Hold on. I watched that thing just like you did. Oh, why'd they withhold? Why'd they withhold the throat tissue? And then they said that is common practice. That's common practice. So that they take the throat tissue out. But these people, listen. When you look at the situation, if you were drowned, they would know that. And you're an idiot, because if you were drowned, they would look for signs of a struggle, skin and stuff under the nails. They will look at your lungs. Your brain would show that air was constricted, and you were, there's chemicals, all types of stuff that are released. There's no sign of a struggle. And if you didn't struggle, that means they had to have knocked you out. But there's no sign of blunt force trauma. The tissues behave in a certain way when you're killed. All that. The medical examiner was like, I don't see any of that. The independent medical examiner was like, I don't see any of that. You don't know what you're talking about. And then talk about somebody attacked Ben Crump. No one attacked Ben Crump. People told the truth about Ben Crump. He's a damn grifting ass, race hustling ambulance chaser. He only hopscotch to where there's a black corpse that he thinks he can profit off of. Al Sharpton do the same thing. It's like seeing vultures. When you see vultures, you know there's something dead around, right? That's Ben Crump in them. That's Ben Crump and Al Sharpton in them. And they did the same thing with George Floyd, and literally tried to turn George Floyd's funeral into a political rally. They did that. And they want to do it with Nolan Wells, but they don't have the evidence to do it. They don't have enough damning evidence to do that.
To talk or to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account. Black people are right to be
Hold
suspicious
on,
of.
pause. Roll that back, bro.
He gonna say the same thing. A state just killed a 1-year-old boy. Bro, you know how many kids is dying in the black community every day? And you couldn't find a single video online of D.L. Hughley talking about all the kids dying in the black community every day. Joe Biden and Javier Becerra lost 300 children to trafficking when Joe Biden was in office. You didn't hear D.L. Hughley say a single word about that. These dudes are picking and choosing, and he gets a check. They all get a check. They pay them to come rile you up over things based on pure lies. They're literally making money off of this stuff.
What did that article say? Roll it back. Play it.
Buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to talk or to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old.
Pause. I can't read because the letters there. It says involved in a fatal shooting of 1-year-old, was once accused of exaggerating. What did it say? Exaggerating threat posed by a car. What's the person up there what's the name above his words? Is that said Does it say Mississippi cop or Mississippi man? Okay. Let's play it.
Oh boy, and nobody's being brought to.
Oh, Mississippi officer. Yeah, you know the funny thing is, bro, and I probably remember this situation. There is no way in the world that the officer just killed a 1-year-old. But this how stupid these Negroes are. You stupid enough to say they just walked and killed a 1-year-old. That's why y'all ain't never gonna be nothing, man. And I'm not talking about every black person because there's smart ones like me. I'm talking about you ignorant Negroes. They killed a black kid and the 1-year-old, nobody know about it. You go and look that up. It probably was an officer-involved situation. Matter of fact, look it up for me. 2 things I want y'all to look up for me. How many black people have been murdered by black people in Mississippi in the last 10 years? And then we'll look up some circumstances around this Mississippi officer. And Grant's going to do that for me, and I'll get back to you guys on the rest of it. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight.
We're going into ancient history. Oh, they've been poisoning black people with the water. They've been doing this and doing that. Listen, the number one killer and destroyer of black life is abortion. Until we address abortions, which D.L. Hughley fought for, right? Until we address black abortion, you can't tell me nothing else about nobody else who did something to black folks. Because the number one killer of black people are black, unfortunately, women, and the men who push them to do it too, who kill their unborn children. It's abortions. I don't want to hear about no damn baby and the police and all this shit. Dude, our people are systematically eradicating. We are systematically eradicating ourselves, but pointing at everybody else, trying to make what they're doing the number one cause of our decline. It's us. The smallest major group in the country is aborting their children at almost the same rate as all 3 other major groups combined. Black people alone are aborting their children at the same rate as Hispanics, whites, and Asians combined. And you want to listen to this fool talking about they've been poisoning black people with the water. If black people felt their lives were under threat in Mississippi, you wouldn't be able to pay them to go to an abortion clinic. You wouldn't be able to pay them to get rid of their kids. Because even in slavery, the zenith of white hatred for blacks, we were still producing by the thousands. Racists don't want less blacks. Racists want more blacks, so they got more people to sit up there and condemn. You got the same white people, the quote-unquote racists, trying to outlaw abortion in the city, in the state. So like guys, you got to connect this stuff together, connect the dots. So the white racists in Mississippi want to ban abortion, which black people in Mississippi get way more abortions than anybody else, like double, triple the amount. So if they wanted to kill black people, wouldn't they just fight to make abortion legal and make abortion legal at every stage and sit back and let black people kill themselves? This is all I'm saying. But see, we don't want to have that discussion, though. We don't want to have that discussion. That's when the black people run away. I don't want to hear that because it's just too much common sense. It's too much common sense. So we run away. This is entertaining for black people. Sitting up listening to D.L. Hughley just spout stupid stuff. Oh, he's so funny. This is entertainment for black people. Not realizing that it's making them look stupid.
They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is...
Time out. I saw video and testimony and GPS, and that there y'all see the CTO phone call. All of these things are evidence that they were not there. How do you blame somebody for killing a person when they weren't there when the person died? Nope.
Oh, shoot, guys. I never went back to the video. My bad. Dang, sorry. But I was looking this up. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Non-Hispanic Black women received the majority of reported abortions in Mississippi over the last 10 years. Data indicates that this demographic accounted for 74% to 80% of reported procedures between 2019 and 2022, with historical CDC data from 1995 to 2010 showing a consistent rate of approximately 72%. So Black women received 80% of the abortions in Mississippi. Non-Hispanic Black women in 2022, 2021, 2019, and going all the way down to 2010. Why do they need to kill you? Why does the Klan even need to exist in Mississippi? Y'all doing the most kill. You're exterminating yourself. Look at this. Brandon, you still on this nonsense? No, but to ignorant Black people, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. I know I got my audience divided. One half is Blacks who watch in one format. The other half is whites who watch in the other format. I see the numbers on the one format going down because now that the facts are coming out, the Black people are exiting the room. This is what we do best. You said something we don't like, we leaving. They wanted to come see the entertainment value of what they thought D.L. Hughley was going to give them some cheap laughs on Tatum. But now I'm breaking down the data that proves this is a purely ignorant position to say the people of Mississippi, the white folks, are on this mission to kill black people. No, they don't have to. Dummy. They don't have to. You're killing yourselves in that state. You're exterminating. So then look at the violence in Mississippi, Black on Black. Jackson, Mississippi. Go look at the violence. Jackson, Mississippi, one of the most violent cities ever. They no longer need to overtly attack you. They don't even need to covertly attack you. All they do is sit back, just like Tupac said, give them guns, sit back and watch them kill each other. But Tupac, he touched on abortion stuff a little, but no one knew it would get to this point. 80%. You're right, Jerry Garcia. Disease killed the American Indians, right? But see, at least with the American Indians, it wasn't self-inflicted. The American Indian didn't say, "Ooh, look, a smallpox blanket," and start rolling around on it. Black people walking through automatic doors. Black people are getting buzzed in. Because when you go to abortion clinic, you got to get buzzed in. They're getting buzzed in to secure facilities to exterminate themselves at 80% in the state of Mississippi. Somebody was talking about, you a coolness. I said, I don't give a damn about Nolan Wells at all. Oh, you don't care about that young Black life? I care more about the unborn fetuses being exterminated because that's where the real loss is taking place. Nolan Wells is a young man who, as far as we know now, made a bad decision and it cost him his life. Those babies don't get to make a decision. They just get killed.
Black people have been murdered by Black people in Mississippi in the last 10 years. And then we'll look up some circumstances around this Mississippi officer. And Grant's going to do that for me, and I'll get back to you guys on the rest of it. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning Black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is...
Time out. I saw video and testimony and GPS And there y'all see the Cito phone call. All of these things are evidence that they were not there. How do you blame somebody for killing a person when they weren't there when the person died? Nobody's saying nobody guilty, innocent. I don't know what happened. Y'all colored Neanderthals are mad at me because I interviewed somebody.
And this is my whole point. Shout out to John Zola. Thank you for the $4.99, my brother. That's my whole point. Black people are doing exactly what they're accusing Brandon Tatum of doing. No one knows what happened yet. But black people are the ones who have jumped out in front of this and said this was a racially motivated murder. Black people did that. This is a racially motivated killing. They killed Nolan because they racist. And then it went from they killed him because they white racist Klan members to they killed him because they was jealous over him staying with the girl to, it just has evolved. The goalpost has moved so many times. The goalpost has moved so many times. Brandon Tatum has not conclusively said Nolan Wells was not murdered. He has not said nothing near that. He has not passed judgment on Nolan Wells. He did some speculating. He went and talked to people who were involved. That's it. The only people pretending that they know exactly what happened by way of their phone screen are African Americans. Doing what we do best, pretending to care about something that we don't give a damn about. I saw this one page that was like, yeah, this is black power. Yeah, but Brandon Tatum is a coon. Bro, how is this dude dying? What does this boy dying have to do with black power? Please tell me. I'll wait. What does this boy dying have to do with black power? It's not power at all if it's built on lies. Guys, before we get out of here, I'll ask you to help us reach our contribution goal. I'm not going to hit a record on YouTube this month, which I was hitting a record every month before because I took those days off. But please, if you can, contribute through Super Chat, contribute through Cash App, PayPal. The links are in the comments right now. We appreciate everything you do for this channel. And then also join us on Discord. The Discord is active. We got new people in there. It's looking good. Join us on Discord. All the conversations continue in Discord.
And I tried to interview black folks, but they don't want to talk to me. But then I interviewed Tristan, the young black boy, and y'all don't even count him. I guess he's not black enough for y'all. Usually interview white boys. What about the black kid I interviewed? Oh, okay, he don't count. Oh, yeah, I don't want to count him. Okay, because he ain't the right black. He got to be a black man being stupid. All right, let's look.
Yeah, there was the other black boy who was like, "There's no way this was racially motivated." They were like, "There's no way this is racially motivated." Black folks just totally ignored that. They just totally ignored that. Oh, he don't even exist. Black people, you're going to continue to take L's until you learn how to be honest. You're going to continue to take L's until you learn how to be honest. Until you stop trying to make everything racially motivated. The only person or group of people who are motivated by race are black people. Because if Nolan had been killed by a bunch of black dudes on that boat, you wouldn't even talk about it. You wouldn't even care about it. You wouldn't even watch a video discussing it. We know that. We know that. I'm black too, yep. But I'm not an ignorant. That's the thing. I'm not an ignorant. There's a difference between black folks and niggas, man. And y'all, a lot of y'all is niggas. A black person is like, yo, we don't know what happened yet. Let's try to get to the bottom of it. Let's see what happens. An ignorant is out here talking about, yeah, they killed him, and his judge, and his daddy was the judge, and all this shit. Like they watching the episode of Law and Order or Unsolved Mysteries. There's a difference. And the more time goes on, we're going to continue to do what we're doing, which is to clearly distinguish ourselves. See, you got a lot of black people who want to delineate and distinguish themselves from Africans and all that stuff. In the same way black people want to do that, that's in the same way black people like me, Brandon Tatum, Anton Daniels, DeVory Darkins, Greg Foreman, we want to delineate ourselves from ignorant black people. Chris Rock said it best. You got black folks, then you got niggas. And that is becoming more apparent every single day. Every single day. I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example of the difference between black folks and niggas. I have a friend who has a daughter who was best friends with a girl. Her and a girl end up getting in an argument over a boy. The girl who the daughter told the girl, yeah, B, if you got a problem with me talking to him, you could pull up and we could fight. So the girl best friend pull up like they gonna fight. The girl daughter grabs a pair of scissors, runs out the house and stabbed this girl through her chest and punctured her lung. Now, that's a nigga right there. My daughter has many friends, right? My daughter has to have people she was friends with who she's no longer friends with. Hey, why are you not friends with them? Yeah, we just don't talk anymore. She's doing this program and it's taking up a lot of her time. And I'm busy doing this engineering program and it's taking up a lot of my time. So we don't really talk much anymore. So they don't talk. If my daughter has a conflict with one of her friends, yeah, she's doing something weird. So I just don't talk to her no more. Nobody got stabbed. That's the difference between black folks and niggas. Y'all having a disagreement, right? And somebody end up getting stabbed through their chest to the point where their lung gets punctured. That's nigga shit. That's a nigga moment. And what makes it more of a nigga moment is the mama sat right there, watched everything unfold, and didn't say nothing. The mama was right there looking at the girl when she was on the phone talking about, bitch, you could pull up. You think the mom did? The mom thought it was funny until the cops was carting her daughter off to jail. That is a nigga moment. Those are niggas over there. And then regular black people are like, why would my kid stab somebody through the chest over a boy? Why would my kid tell somebody to pull up and we could fight and then pick up a scissor and try to stab them? You guys, the insults don't mean anything. Jalen Pete, Kyle Miller, do you realize that, guys, let me tell you something about black people. Black people think the ability to insult somebody is a superpower because that's all we got. The only weapon black people have in America is the ability to crack jokes and make light of a situation. They can't refute what I'm saying. They can't deny what I'm saying because collectively we all know this is true. Brandon is a defeated brother. Poor me, poor you. The defeated person is the person who cannot exist without trying to highlight how somebody victimized them. That's defeated. The defeated person is the person arguing against someone who is encouraging our people to take another path. That's the defeated person. Kyle Miller, exactly. He's a coon. I'm not a coon. D.L. Hughley is a coon. Because D.L. Hughley is attacking another black man over a case where he just admitted he doesn't know anything about. You could miss me with that. Shout out to my boy Truth 884 on his way to the motherland. Dude. Man, I'm telling you ever been in somebody's house and their house dirty as fuck? You go in their bathroom, dookie all over the toilet. You go in their kitchen, roaches and all that. Then they go to a restaurant or something and try to complain about a water spot being on the fork. I have, and they was black. I done been in somebody's house to where their house is so filthy, I don't even want to sit on the couch and then listen to that person talk about white folks smelling like this, that, and the third. We've all experienced it. Black folks, you gotta start in your own house first. You first have to address the dishonesty that is destroying your community before you can go try to police other people's communities. Do you understand? Black folks is trying to police, interrogate, and they're trying to police, investigate, and interrogate other communities, but can't do nothing to improve their community. Tell me 5 Black communities that are predominantly Black that are safe, that aren't all in just one state. Godzilla, God King. Nobody knows anything about it. There's 100% something else going on. Excuse me. But we can't say what. Tatum knows just as much as us, and he acting like everyone's innocent. But the thing about Tatum is he's telling you what he saw or what he found out. He's basing his speculation on what he experienced by going there. That's the only difference. He don't know shit that you don't know. But he's coming to a conclusion. He's coming to his own conclusion based on what he was told by those people. And maybe he feels like because he sat in front of them, that gives him some type of unique insight. But I bet you if you told a Black person to bet their life saving, well, shit, Black people don't save money. If you told a Black person to bet their EBT check on whether or not Nolan Wells was murdered or not, I bet you they wouldn't bet that he wasn't, that he was murdered. If you told a Black person to bet their EBT and their welfare check on Nolan Wells being viciously murdered by white racists, I bet you they wouldn't bet it. I bet you. Kyle, see, you was just insulting me, calling me a coon. That's another thing Black people do. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. They could call you a coon, talk shit on you all day. If you crack a joke on them, see how he's doing us? See how he's doing us? Look, you called me a coon. I said Black people don't save money. Now your feelings hurt. Stop it. Stop it. I'm Black too. I'll crack a joke on your ass too. But it's always rules for thee, not for me. That's why Black people fit perfectly with the Democrat Party. Because the Democrat Party is irredeemably hypocritical, and the Black community is irredeemably hypocritical. They called me a coon and everything else, but as soon as I said Black folks don't save money, oh my God, I'm offended. I'm offended. Yeah, you're attacking Black people, and Black people are attacking me. See how that works? Cash rules everything around me. I'm attacking Black people because Black people are attacking me. I'm not attacking anybody on with my show. I'm not attacking any. I said nobody knows anything, so you look stupid trying to come at Brandon Tatum. 5 minutes into the show, D.L. Hughley admitted, I don't know what happened. So that means I was right. Black people start saying, you a coon, you this, calling me names. So when I start going back at these niggas, now they hurt. We can dish it out, but we can't take it. We cannot take it. We think we tough. We think we hard, but we're not. We're not. We as soft as it get. Y'all talking about me attacking Black people. Go stand in front of the abortion clinic in Mississippi and go address those women that's exterminating Black fetuses. 80% of abortions in Mississippi are Black women for the past 16 years. 80%. You don't even know what the meaning of attack is. You think me saying words is hurting you. No, them aborting fetuses is hurting you. You think these white boys allegedly killing Nolan Wells is hurting you. No, it's not doing anything to you. Even if they did string his ass up. What is systematically destroying you is the abortions. 80% of all abortions in Mississippi are performed by Black females. I mean, they are being done, performed on Black females. That is a crisis. That's a crisis. And you're talking about Brandon saying Black people don't save is hurting me. I just pulled up the numbers for you. You're dumb as hell. You're looking at an ant when you got a damn gorilla or a freaking lion standing in front of you. The Nolan shit is an ant. There's a big ass freaking tiger right there standing behind an ant. You don't want to look at that. You want to go look down at the smallest thing. There's a saying in the Bible, first pull the beam out of your eye before you try to pull the straw out of your brother's eye. That's Black people. We over here trying to police every other community. And our community is systematically being destroyed, and we're the ones doing it. You cannot survive if you're murdering your own babies. Damn Nolan Wells straight to hell. I don't care what happened to that fool. Because Nolan Wells was a grown man making his own decisions. These babies are not, they're innocent. But y'all get more mad. You're getting more mad about what you want to believe was a racially motivated murder than self-inflicted murder. I'm not even talking about the gangsters and the killers and the crack dealers. I'm talking about 80% of all abortions in Mississippi were performed on Black women. And then the white folks, I think they didn't ban abortion in Mississippi. I think they banned it. The white folks saved you. Let's say they did kill Nolan. They saved thousands more Black people by banning abortion. Y'all always talking about stats and data and Dana with the data and all this bullshit. Y'all niggas don't care about no damn data. Niggas care about pure, unbridled emotional reactionism. That's it. Ooh, this sound bad. Let me run over here. No. It's the things that nobody wants to discuss that are hurting you. Because not a single YouTuber is going to make that connection. I don't care if it's Anton Daniels. I don't care if it's Black conservative perspective. I don't care who it is. No one is going to mirror Nolan Wells' death with the fact that 80% of abortions performed in Mississippi are performed on Black women. No one's going to do that. Because they're like, I don't want to get demonetized. Not me. I don't care. I'm telling you, look, yeah, he's just talking. No, I'm not. I pulled up the facts. I pulled up the evidence. When you dismiss me, you're doing that because that's your coping mechanism. Look, you should be ashamed of yourself. I want to view your podcast when they find these white men guilty. Let's make a deal, David Nash. If they find these white boys guilty, I'll pay you $100. And if they find them if they never get charged, you pay me $100. Let's put our money where our mouth is, David. We can exchange emails. Here's my email. I'm undefeated when it comes to arguing with niggas. Let's do it. There's my email. Put your email. These niggas is crazy. They're crazy. They not right. They mama smoked crack cocaine when they was in her womb. They not, as my granny used to say, they not rap tight. And the minute you understand the fact that there is a pandemic of undiagnosed mental illness in the Black community, y'all think all them Black folks smoke crack and it didn't have no residual impact? It did. Maybe because they're not outwardly slow to where you could see it. That don't mean that they not over here delayed. I hope you accept EBT because he doesn't have it. You know that nigga ain't got no money. You know that nigga ain't got no money, bro. Bro, I'm telling you. We are all telling you. Bro, we just had this boy, Uncle Luke, the other day admit that the Democrats is rigging elections in Florida. Everything we've been telling you has come true. Everything that ignorance was denied, no, that ain't the case, that didn't happen, has been proven true. Whatever black people are saying as a group, if you just believe the opposite, you're going to be right 99% of the time. I'm telling you. Whatever black people are saying as a group, if you just believe the opposite, you're going to be right 99% of the time. You got young, ignorant blacks taking the place of the old, ignorant blacks. And it's their children and the people that they raised. I'm sorry. No, you don't speak for me. Deborah, don't nobody want to speak for you. Your ass is ignorant. Jalen, I'm doing this for my $7,000 a month from Israel. It's gotten worse. 100%. Guys, come on, man. Do we need to talk about the dude who killed? Do we need to talk about the girl and her boyfriend who killed her whole family? Do we need to talk about that? Bro, I got a friend. His name's Kelvin. Bro sends me every day 20 to 30 stories of black people doing straight up ignorant shit. I don't even talk about it because I just don't want it to look like, yo, bro, it's piling on black people. I don't want this to look like a black hate channel. He'd be like, bro, you need to talk about this. Bro, you letting these other dudes pass you. He want me to be like Andrew K. Williams. And Andrew K. Williams show you niggas no mercy. You calling me a coon. Go watch Andrew K. Williams. Bro cut niggas at the nuts. He don't care. He damn near on the verge of stringing niggas up. But it don't matter. Why it was hiding in the closet. Right. I watch AK Nation for the news out of Blackistan. Yeah, AK Nation. I see bro channel. Yeah. Maybe I should just turn this into a black accountability where I just go crazy on black people every day with stories. Y'all get 10 videos a day. Cause that's how much shit we doing out here. Put a one in the comments if you want me to just turn this into a black annihilation channel. Cause I do, cause we can do it. I got it. Bro is hitting me every single flipping day a lot. He get mad at me because I only cover like certain stuff. He be like, bro, I sent you all this good stuff and all this stuff. And I'm just like, bro, but I don't want it to be like, I want people to come and be able to get informed. Yeah, I might just turn it into that. Y'all, I'll make a ton of money doing that. There's a ton of money in doing that. I guarantee you like that, don't you? I come from, they call, you can't even read, you illiterate bastard. You can't even write. Y'all cold. Y'all put a gang of ones. Do it. Do it. Fridays, niggas. J1, I'd respect it more. You can have black accountability out. Nothing I say has anything to do with white supremacy. That's the crazy thing. You can have black accountability without having to accept white supremacist bullshit. All you have to do is read, my guy. Read. I read more than you by a lot. All I do is read. You don't tell me nothing about, you don't define what is white supremacy, man eater. That's your problem. You niggas try to call anything that holds you accountable white supremacists. And white people benefit from you not being held accountable, stupid. If a black person is calling you out on something you're doing, that don't benefit whites, that benefit you. If your if your son is stealing and you say, hey, bro, you need to stop stealing out in people's store, and say you call the cops on your own kid and let them put him in handcuffs and shit to teach him a lesson, that's not benefiting white folks. White folks want the kid to be wild, like in those takeovers. White folks want the kid to be allowed to do crime so he can gradually build up, so he can go get put in prison. And I don't even think white folks want that. White folks don't want that. I think there's certain elements within our society that want that. So they can put him in jail for years and he could be a slave like those kids over there in Florida. Holding your people accountable is not white supremacists. It's not. And even if a white person holds your black ass accountable, that is not white supremacy. The Bible says that the man who rejects correction is a fool. And that is why Black America is full of fools, because we reject any type of correction. And we don't just do it on the political level. We do it even in our own homes. We won't listen. Our kids don't want to listen to us. There was this one video I watched, this girl cursing her mom out at this park because she got caught hanging out with a boy, kissing on a boy. I don't care. I'm done. This, that, and the third. That girl didn't want to listen to her mama. So the mama's preaching white supremacist talking points because she's telling her daughter, don't be at the park getting felt up by young boys. Do you realize how stupid you sound when you say stuff like that? Shout out to my brother from another mother from way over there across the pond. Greetings, Brandon. If Eber threatened your life, I would hope on the first plane I would hop on the first plane. Who is Eber? Oh, if anyone ever threatened your life, I will hop on the first plane from London to LA to have your back. If your life was ever threatened, Brandon would defend your aggressor. If your life, wait. If anyone ever threatened your life, I will hop on the first plane from London to LA to have your back. If your life was ever threatened, Brandon would defend your aggressor. Stop it, Jughead. Damn, man. Why are you doing me like that? Why are you doing me like that? This is not true. This is not true. This was just a couple of years back. I got into it with a white dude. Where I live, there's this store called Gelson's. And only white people shop there. And I was there. And it was a white guy. The cashier was black. And the white guy was yelling at this black cashier. And the guy was kind of big and he was drunk. And he's yelling at her. And I'm like, I hear yelling. So I come around the aisle. I look like he's in this lady's face, right? Man, I walked up to that dude. I said, dude, you got 2 seconds to get your ass up out of the store. I'm going to knock you the fuck out. That lady was like, thank you so much. You know what all those other black people who work up in there did? Nothing at all. And one of the managers in that hole is black. What, you know what they did? Nothing, because they wanted to keep their job. So they sat back, watched this lady get cursed out by this big white dude who was drunk and did not make a move because they did not want to risk their own job. And that is the black community. Look, let me tell you something. If you are black and the police get a hold of somebody and you feel like the cop is really just out here cooking this black person, like viciously doing something to him, jump in and break it up. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. If you feel in your heart of hearts the police are doing wrong to a black person, jump in and break it up. You know, we just watched a video where a bunch of black people jumped on the police down south. None of them died. But the problem with black people is nobody wants to do anything because they know that any moment when it comes time to do something, you're quickly going to learn the difference between black folks and niggas. We are not all together. So even if one of us wanted to do something, you cannot count on the next black person being down to help you. Now, Jughead, if bro was over here in America and somebody tried to get on bro, I would help him. Because, like, I feel like I know him. I have a connection with him because he's been watching my channel for years. But I would tell Jughead, you have more of a chance of an ignorant black person attacking you in America than you do of the police attacking you in America. Hate to say it, but them's the facts. You have more of a chance of an ignorant black person attacking you in America than a police officer. Even when I was on No Jumper, who was the number one group of people trying to come at me? Black folks. I never had a conflict with a white person at No Jumper. And I debated a white supremacist on No Jumper. I used to go at Adam all the time, cursed out the little Mexicans, called them names and all that, and was like, y'all could call anybody from one of y'all hoods. Argued with the Mexicans about quinceañera being a pedo culture. They didn't even, they never tried to fight me. The only people who tried to have smoke with me was the blacks. If you ever watch me on No Jumper, you know that. I said offensive stuff to every group. And the only group that ever tried to act like they wanted to fight me was blacks. So please don't tell me Brandon gonna defend this person and defend. I was defending black people on No Jumper a lot more than I should have. And the same black people was trying to fight me. Well, they act like they want to fight me because they know they would have got their ass beat. Josh was an idiot, but he was all right. Josh trying to fight me? Boy, Josh will get slapped. I got into it. Black people was, bro, them damn gang members. Dude, the dude, man, come on, man. Don't make me pull this shit up with this dude Hawk, where he talk about he only bang on other blacks and don't even think about going at whites. That nigga said, I'm on everything black. The most ignorant statement in the history of the internet. But y'all gonna try to tell me, you a coon, you this, you that. Come on, bro. Black people got some shit going on in our community that you would never believe.
9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. Listen, EOP meds.
Exactly.
Been
I've been taking
right? He
meds
take
since I was
medication.
5, right?
Snoopy badass meds, nigga.
Nigga, wake up tripping, bro. But I'll be having to like level my brush they teeth.
Badass little kid.
Yeah, some nigga I got real. Yeah, and I knocked her, nigga. Ain't getting part of
He ain't no
low, nigga. I ain't.
See, I just got out the hole. I had to
And
go
that's
to the
not
shoe.
PC.
Damn, I'm trying to find this shit. Cause I'm gonna take y'all back to the part where he told you he'd been on medication since he was 5 years old. Man, I want to. Where would be the easiest place for me to find that? Would that be YouTube? Cause I got proof. Look, I got proof of everything I'm saying. This dude say he been on medication since he was little. Then tell you when he goes and does his degeneracy, he's only going after other blacks. Guys, that's a problem. Damn. Wait, hold on. Man, these niggas, all they care about. Sorry, I'm trying to find this short. I guess he's after Gumby from Hoover now, so that's flooding the airwaves. I don't know. But if y'all know anything about this No Jumper stuff, this dude was like, when I was in jail, he said, I'm banging on everything black. I'm not going after essays or none of that. The guy just was ignorant.
See, by the way, attitude, they be dropping, look up and the people know claiming the
niggas on yard, bro. And a lot of niggas think that. A lot of niggas on that main line, they think niggas just because they on the main line, they walking GP. A lot of them niggas is solid. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Let's address this on the ticket.
Aha. Gumby said that you were a
Hold up.
See, nigga.
No, that ain't PC.
We gotta
talk about it. Listen, 90 degrees on the yard Hoovers.
I've been taking
right? He takes medication.
Right?
That he really takes medication.
Man, I've been taking
right? He takes medication.
Right?
I feel you, brother.
But that wasn't.
But that's what's gonna send you to if it's in your medical file.
Hey, put me in the drug.
Yeah, all you gotta do is all you gotta do
put me there.
So Snoopy Badass was over there too. He broke that down. But see, he said he was hustling. He said he was slinging the pills.
I went over there. Everybody know what I went over there and did though. Everybody, it was a play.
But it wasn't a PC yard.
But niggas drop
everyone runs plays.
See, look.
That ain't no play. The nigga really just said, man.
Different kind of play.
But
nigga, we all got home. My mama take meds, nigga.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
What you talking about?
Where they at? I need the meds.
Sometimes I be needing that shit. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie. Nigga, my girl tell y'all, nigga, I be tripping sometimes. Nigga, I wake up tripping, bro, but I'll be having to level myself out. But
I ain't playing.
So does that technically make you a J-Cat?
Hell no, nigga.
No,
Nigga, I think right. You feel me?
Right? Listen.
Hey, this will make you a
J-Cats is niggas that run around talking
they don't brush their teeth. They don't clip their nails. They don't cut their nails.
Be doing.
Exactly. Wearing the same suit for 15 years.
His nails and paints them.
No,
yeah.
But look, his medication may keep him balanced to where he functions.
Hey, look, so my problem was I'm hyper, bro. I'm naturally hyper.
What they call it? AD?
Anyway, the whole point I'm making with this video is these dudes are on medication. These dudes ain't right in the mind. Our community is filled with these type of people. But the minute you address it and say something about it, you're a coon, you're a traitor, you hate your own people. No, I love my people because I'm warning them that it's niggas like that running around. And they need to be careful. But we don't want to listen. We don't want to listen. Straight up. I'll stick with the MAGA. I stick with the white man. This fool literally said, I only bang on my own. I don't go after essays. I don't go after I don't go after any other group of people. Right? But it's like, why? Why are you going after anybody, period? Right? But it's just crazy. And you got people like this running around the community and you talking about, oh, these vicious, racist white boys are who we need to worry about. If you don't get the flip out of here, if you don't get the hell out of here, please tell me. I really wish I had that clip because that's when I tell you that's one of the most erroneous clips I've ever seen in my life. I wish I had been there. I wish I had been there that day. I would have literally been like, fool, do you realize how dumb you just sounded? But in the black community, that's totally fine. But let a white person sneeze on a black person, it's World War X. And because I won't participate in your hypocrisy, you want to try to come at me. No, I don't know you. Don't know you, don't know nothing about you. Like, real talk. But yeah, I just cannot operate on that level of ignorance. Why the hell this stupid thing? Anyway, what is this? Anyway, but guys, I got to get out of here. It's been real. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everything you do for me in this channel. We'll be back tomorrow, and I'll have some other videos for you today, I believe. We'll be back tomorrow with some more content. There's breaking news that Nolan was doing coke. Hey, I don't know yet. I got to confirm it. I got to research it to make sure it's accurate. But, you know, I believe that's why the family didn't want that toxicology report released, because they do have the toxicology report. What's happening on the Star report? What's happening on it? Let me see. Hey, that guy's Star report. I need to try to be more like bro. Bro be cooking. Bro, but don't even got to do a thumbnail, but he been around for a long time. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's breaking the news right now. So y'all go check that out. I might do a report on that this evening. But I suspected that's why I suspected that's why they didn't want to release that toxicology report. But remember what black people told you, Nolan Wells is an innocent angel. He would never do anything wrong. Remember, black folks were saying that. But that's in our community, that's what you have to believe. You have to believe all white people are bad. All black people are inherently innocent. We never do nothing. We was at the party, we was at the island partying, getting drunk, doing all types of wild stuff. But you know, we still walking around with that halo made out of collard green stems, you know, that black folks want you to believe they have. And I'm just not buying it. No one is an angel. No one is all good. No group is all good. And I'm not going to buy into that bull crap. Thank y'all for watching this. I appreciate everything. Y'all go check out the Star Report.